Preparing live streaming now. Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
So, how was the week?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday, this lovely Sunday. Today with us, we have Haniza from PasarKita and Francis from Urban Farm Tech. So glad to have Francis here. Okay, so today's topic, we are going to talk about aquaponics. So a lot of people knows about what is aquaponics, and we bring our expert in aquaponics to tell us more about what is it. So before that, let me briefly introduce who is PasarKita. PasarKita is a platform that connects urban growers to consumers. So what PasarKita does is we help urban growers to get into urban farming, and then we help them to market their produce and deliver it to the customer. So this month we are going to have a donation program where we will help growers to raise funds so that they can buy the equipment and tools that they need to start their urban farming business. So I will post a link in the chat box later. That is through Launch Group donation platform. And we do hope that you can help us to share it and to support our cause. So without taking much of your time, I will introduce today's speaker, Mr. Francis, for him to introduce himself and tell us what he do.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fong, and thank you, Nisa, from PasarKita for inviting us for these meaningful sharings about aquaponics. So we will start from some our introductions. Let me share the screen. Mr. Fong, are you able to see the screen on your side?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I just start first. Okay, with these introductions before we talk about aquaponics. First of all, who is Urban Farm Tech? Urban Farm Tech is the future's urban farm engineers. And why actually we start this Urban Farm Tech is because we believe that urban farming will be the answer for future food security. And we believe that a sustainable city, a smart city, they must have their own food source to make sure that actually can self-sustain. So this is our visions. And what we provide is actually a EPCC's service, which is like we provide engineering, procurement, construction, commissioning for any urban farms projects. Our urban farm project will focus into a three type of technology. Okay, first is actually vertical farming. So what is vertical farming? Vertical farming is a technology that helps us to grow our plants, our vegetables in a vertical way. We can use much lesser space to grow more food, okay, in urban area. So vertical farming that actually separate into many different type is indoor vertical farming or outdoor vertical farming. So Urban Farm Tech provide both of them as one of our projects. Next is second technology that we focus is about IoT, which is like IR 4.0 smart farming. why we so focus on this technology is also that we believe in futures we need to help use the technology to help the people, to help the farmer, to grow the food, grow the vegetables more with much less manpower, but with more precise in terms of the fertilizer utilizations and environment controls and all these things. So the next is the third technology that we focus is also on aquaponics that we will talk about that today. So aquaponics is a combination of aquaculture and hydroponics system together. It's an integrated system. So an integrated system between aquaculture and hydroponics recycle the waste from fish and convert that to become a resource, which is a nutrient for the plants to uptake. And later on, we'll talk further about these technologies, okay, or the way that or the methods of how to actually grow with aquaponics. So our approach of service that we provide to our customer, we call it EPCC turnkey solutions, that we help our customers to do engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning for the urban farm projects. So we'll base on the customer situations like how big is the space and what actually their aims, and we come out the proposals for them. And if they agree with the proposals, with the price or all the technical things, so we will start the process like procurement, constructions, and then commissionings before hand over to customer. Okay, Urban Farm Tech is also a social enterprise since 2016. We provide trainings to local communities. We provide training to students and also school. Okay, but we are as I say, we are the social enterprise that we actually have a we call it business model. So one business model is about revenue streams. We provide the service to corporate to earn revenue and profit. But at the same time, we actually also work with the school and NGO organizations, to provide these social missions to the beneficiary as well. So up to today, we successfully raised 250,000 for impact projects, and we will kickstart a new project at Cyberjaya. We are going to build a commercial scale urban farm that incorporates vertical farming, IoT systems all together, and make it as a platform for the people, especially the youth, to learn about what is a smart farming, what is the vertical farming, what is this aquaponics system in a very big scale. So yeah, that's why we are looking for volunteers as well, to help us together to make this happen. As of now, we are in design and construction phase. So we targeted for another 2-3 months, the farm will be finished for the constructions and set up. So I think that's all about introductions from Urban Farm Tech. And yeah, Mr. Fong, I pass back to you.
Thank you for your introduction about Urban Farm Tech. So now we know what your business is about. We are very much interested to know about you yourself, Francis. What is your background and why are you interested in aquaponics?
Okay, my background is actually from engineering. I was working in environmental engineering industry for about 10 years before I create this Urban Farm Tech and start this startup. So, but of course, the reason that I start Urban Farm Tech is not only because I from this environmental engineering background. Another reason is also for my childhood experience. I was from Ipoh and I was stay together with my grandparents when I was a kid. So that experience, the living experience with them is that they like to grow their own food, they raise their own chickens, and that is my childhood experience. So that also create some kind of like interest about farming. Okay, but of course, when we move to a city, we don't have this kind of lands, for us to start our open farm. So, and there's one day, I look at my children and I think like, why today they will lost this kind of a skill or those memory that I had before. So I think that we can start something like grow our own food at home, and that is how I start urban farming. But of course, we start a very basic way, like we use the soil, put it in the pots, and we plant material. But unfortunately, we face a failure. Well, let's say for example, 2 or 3 days that we forget watering, or maybe we have to back to hometown. Especially my background is on engineering, and I actually sometimes I have to work outstations and maybe 1 or 2 weeks not around. And as you know, soil farmings, we need to make sure that every days or maybe 1 or 2 days we have to do watering. So so we failed at the first try on urban farming, and then after that I tried to look for other methods. So and I found this aquaponics. So a system that a farming system that incorporate aquaculture and fish tank together, and they have their own water system. They can start watering, and through the process they will actually produce the nutrients for the plants. So I think that is the answer for my next urban farming try lah. So and I start in my balcony and quite successfully, and about me, and because they have their own water system. But of course, we just need to provide the power supply to make sure the pump is running. But in KLCC, I think not an issue lah for power supply. Usually, maybe 1 year, maybe 1 or 2 times, right? They just maybe 1 or 2 times of this power supply interruptions. So it's pretty fine lah. I mean, right? So and yeah, we actually experienced the first success through this system. Yeah, even I'm not here for about maybe a few weeks, 1 or 2 weeks time. But as long as the fish tank, they have enough water, power supply is there, the water will continue channel to a planting system and go back to the fish tank. So the plant will keep growing. Yeah. So that is the beauty of aquaponics. And that is my first try in the balcony. And then after that, I thinking like how actually we can make it something bigger. Yeah. Let more people to know about this way to grow their own food in the city area. Or actually suitable for this city lifestyle. So we start and then we form Urban Farm Tech on 2016. Then we ran a piece of land. Actually, it's not a piece of land, it's a house, it's a corner house, and about 2,000 square feet kind of a land beside the house. And then we spent quite some money to set up the farm over there, and also with the advantages of I am from engineering background, so the system setup and all this thing is still pretty simple for us. So when we start that on 2016, that is where Urban Farm Tech is starting. Yeah, and I think what I experienced in engineering also is that those knowledge or those technology in engineering is already very established, but in agriculture is like it's still like left behind. When we're talking about the automation, we are talking about the PLC control, we are talking about the sensor technology, all this thing, right? In engineering industry, actually is already a very long time. So that's also the reason I think like, hey, why not, we try to transfer the knowledge or the know-how from engineering into agriculture's industry, as maybe we can see some new sparks or it. So yeah, so because of these two reasons, one is because I hope that our future generations, right, they actually can have the same experience as we had before, that they grow their own food, they control the food source. And second is that through our know-how in engineering, we think we actually can make some impact to our area. Yeah. So that is the reason.
Oh, this is very noble of you to pass down the knowledge. I do agree with you that in city area, a lot of children, especially the new generation, they don't have opportunities to understand how plants grow and what nature is about. Yesterday, we were having a discussion with Ong Ai, another speaker. So we also found that a lot of children or a lot of people nowadays thinks that plants are something that we buy, is like something that we pick up from the supermarket, but a lot of them don't have the mindset that, okay, plants actually grow themselves, and what we need is to create an environment that is suitable for the plant. And I think you are very right when you mentioned about the maintenance, the so-called maintenance or the growing part, where we need to take care of the plants. We need to make sure that we give them enough water and nutrients. So this is where aquaponics comes in, I believe, where the, like what you mentioned, as long as there's enough, there's electricity, and the entire system will be able to self-sustain, and they will continue to self grow. So this brings me to another question. What kind of plants or fish are suitable for aquaponics? I believe there are two components, the plant component and the fish component, right? So what are the recommended plants and what are the fish that we can put into the system?
Okay, yes, like you say just now, is that people don't know that where the food come from. They just know that get it from supermarket. Yes, yeah, that is the problem. So if the supermarket is closed, then they actually like don't know where to get their own food really. Okay, so come back to the next thing is actually about the aquaponic systems, right? So a lot of people thought that there's just two main components, which is fish and vegetables, and then that is the reason also that a lot of people fail in aquaponic system, is because they miss out another key components. In aquaponic system itself, actually there are three key components. Okay, the fish, the bacteria, and also the vegetables. So it's not just so simple that you put the fish and the plants together. Yeah, it's not just that straightforward. Because the discharge from the fish, the waste is still just a waste. So they are not able to uptake by the plant. So in between, they need to have a converter, which is a bacteria. They help to convert the waste to become the nutrients, soluble nutrients, and so the plant can uptake. It's something like an engine in the car, you see. So so that bacteria is something like the engine in the car. And you have, let's say for example, you have petrol, but if you don't have engine to convert that to get energy to push your, the mechanism parts of the car to move, so it's just petrol in it. So you still need that engine. Same also in a coupling system. You put in the ammonia, you put in all these waste or all these things, they are still not able to become something that the mechanism, I mean the system needs, the vegetable needs. So you still need to do conversions. You still need to do the further breakdown and all these things. That is the things. Yeah.
I see. So it's not as simple as I put some fish and then I feed the fish poop, and then the vegetable grows.
No.
It's not as simple as that.
Not as simple as that. Yeah, then we actually kill the plants.
Oh, okay. Now this is something new. So in this case, we need to have a proper system where you like what Urban Farm Tech is doing, design the system that enables the bacteria to grow and convert it to nutrients. That's what your system needs to do, right?
Yeah, but of course that also not that complicated as you think, like, oh, we must have used an Urban Farm Tech system. No, not this way. You can DIY yourself also actually. So, but you just need to understand what is the basic process. Okay, you understand basic process, and then after that only you can design the mechanical parts. So you can do it in a small scale by a few simple steps, but just to make sure that you understand the process first. So when you understand process, then you can easily create your own mechanism parts.
A lot of people ask what are the plants that are suitable to use aquaponic systems. Is there any specific plants that thrive if we use aquaponic, or do you have any recommendations?
Of course, so far I never see people plant durian or this big trees. Let's talk about let's narrow down to about what kind of leafy vegetables or any kind of vegetable fruits plants like chili or tomatoes, kind of a small plant first before we talk. Yeah, but you were talking about this big tree plant. Sorry, I never see before. So when we talk about those like leafy vegetable or fruitings, vegetable fruiting plants, right? If the question is about what kind of this plant can grow in aquaponics system, okay? So the answer will be all these kind of plant that actually can grow in aquaponics system, but also subject to other factors. Why I say subject to other factor is in aquaponics system, it's just a system to convert the waste to become nutrients for the plant. So as simple as that. But if you're saying that how about some plant that actually need to grow in cold weather, so that is not the thing that aquaponics system can do. Is not related to aquaponics system, correct? So if you mention that a certain plant that need to have a certain unique micronutrient or this thing, right? So this is also not what aquaponics system can do for you. Again, yeah. So it's very subjecting to other factor as well. So let's say you want to grow, just I think you got one question about grow strawberry, right? So interesting.
Someone
Yes.
asked us, is it possible to grow strawberries using aquaponics?
Okay, that is okay. We tried to grow strawberry before. Yes, it can successfully grow and they can bear the fruit as well. But there is a few factors you have to consider. First of all, is the species. If you want to grow at lowland, okay, lowland mean very hot place.
Okay.
Then you go for those heat resistant one, heat resistant species. Okay, so you have to go for this heat resistant varieties. But anyhow, the fruit quality is still cannot fight with those cold weather one. So, but you say can go, yes. But the rate for that variety is not that competitive compared to those in Cameron Highlands or other country like Japan. So the next thing you have to consider is the temperatures. If you can create a temperature that's suitable for the strawberry, then yes lah. So that's why another technology like a control environment agricultures, that you control the temperatures and all these things. Yes, that is the way to grow strawberry lah. Yeah, in this lowland environments. And then the next is you have to consider the nutrients requirements. Different plant, different vegetable, they actually need different type of nutrients in different ratio. So you need to analyze what is the water parameter inside aquaponics system and what is the nutrients that they actually lack of, and then you need to find a way to supplement and restructure them. Okay, quite a bit complicated now, huh? But I believe that answered the questions. But there's many things to consider.
Well, this is actually a very good news, which means that with these technologies and our understanding on the nature and on planting and growing, right? Actually, a lot of things can be done. So I think this is one of the most important takeaway that I had today. Okay, because before this, I thought like, okay, we cannot grow strawberries. Strawberries are only in cold weather or in Cameron Highlands. But now I understand that, okay, we have sufficient know-how in mankind have sufficient know-how on the plants. We can understand what the plants need, what are the nutrients that they need. And we can even, like what you mentioned, using controlled environment to give them what the plant need to grow it. Of course, I can understand what you mean by the different species, because not everybody likes to live on the same place, right? So it depends on the species as well. But it is still interesting for us to know that. So after we talk about the bacteria and the plants, what about the fish? Is there any specific requirements for the fish?
Okay, yeah. For the fish, in general, is the so-called freshwater fish. Okay, in general, it's a freshwater fish. But of course, there are different type of freshwater fish. And if you ask is what freshwater fish is suitable for certain particular system, is subjecting to your system, how big is the fish tank, and your filtration system. So yeah, so that is the factors. Let's say, for example, if your fish tank is smaller, then of course certain fish, right, that actually need a big space, you're not able to grow lah. You know, if let's say like Umpura or Kala, those fish, they are actually from a big river one. If you put inside the small fish tank, where that actually is quite risky lah. Yeah. So, but one of the very common one is actually tilapia lah. So tilapia is quite a hardy fish, and actually they can grow in even a small or big space, and their growth
Okay.
rate is fast also. So tilapia is one of the quite common fish in aquaponics system.
So what about the small fish like guppies, all these fish?
Okay. Ornamental fish, one of the restriction is that their size is very small.
Mhm.
So when the size is small, they actually consume the feed. It's actually also very less. So that also mean their waste that they charge is also very less. So that is a problem. So you have a very less waste to charge, which mean you have very less nutrients conversions to the plants. It can be done, but then maybe for very small scale. Yeah. For education way part, like in the small aquariums, and on top you have some plant, then you put the ornamental fish like guppies or that's still possible for education purpose, but not for commercial purpose. No feasible.
Okay. So speaking of commercial purpose, is aquaponic commercially viable in the sense that can it really revolutionize the whole um, food supply chain or the agriculture's practice?
Of course, as of now, it's still not yet. I would say that I mean, it's still very less any aquaponics so-called commercial farm in the market today. Okay, so and because when you compare to conventional one of the difference is that the commercials, conventional agricultures, if you look at conventional agricultures today, right, that very big difference is actually on the cost structure. Okay, because conventional agricultures today is still very low cost. Yeah, it's, if you went to Cameron Highlands, you know that they just get a piece of land like 1 acre, and they just clear land a few thousand ringgit, and they just done them already. And of course, they have to use a pesticide lah. They have to use a chemical fertilizer lah. So that is how conventional agriculture is doing lah. So because the cost is so low, okay, so meaning to say the produce cost is also very low. Yeah. So that is why if someone they want to do commercial agricultures, they will find out that hey, this is the way that easy to make money. Yeah. But we actually have to look at futures. So the futures, what will happen in the futures? Is it this kind of conventional way agricultures is the answer, or maybe it's not? And we have to think and prepare for it, right? Because agricultures or any technology, right, you cannot just like deeper today. Oh, we facing certain problem, and we just like I use a lot of money, and then suddenly we got a lot of farm. You get what I mean? It is not like government say like, now we short of food supply already. Okay, let's say no import from other country, lockdown whatever, or anything happen. Okay, now I got 100 billion. Let's start about 10 million acres of this farm. No, that is not the way. It's actually you take a long time to develop the technology, the culture, the whole ecosystem, the supply chain, all these things. Yeah. So we have to start some way, a new or innovations of this agriculture, not only on the way that we grow, but also the whole supply chain. Because it's not able to take 1-2 years to make it happen. Yeah, in a short time. No. You are not able to make it happen even you have a lot of money, because you are create the whole ecosystem. The whole ecosystem include that the technology, how you grow it, the people that appreciate what you grow, and the distribution channel and all these things and all. Yeah. So there's a lot of things you have to consider. We are actually at the very beginning stage to think how actually we can change the way that we grow. Or maybe in PasarKita is that change the way that how we distribute.
True. So you are right with the technology, because at the end of the day, we as human and we as a country continues to progress. It is important for us to start somewhere. Okay, the best time to start is always now, to look into alternatives so that we are more prepared for the future. What we talk about Cameron Highlands is very real. Although on paper it looks like it is very cheap because the land cost and the nutrients is cheap, but that, having said that, is because we plunder the resources from the soil itself. Okay, we take the nutrient from the soil that are used for the entire environment, including the air that we breathe and to clean the waters within the system, etc. So if we take sustainability and environment costs into the calculation, probably it would not be feasible. It would be more costlier for us to do that. So I think someone needs to do some research on this to really justify the impact in terms of the environmental impact when we are talking about the conventional farming, because the cost to recover the trees, the few hundreds acres or 1,000 acres of trees that they chop down, the cost to recover that is very, very high, right? And it is the cost that our children and future generations are paying for. So yes, I got some question from the floor. One of them is, can aquaponics installation use outdoor pond?
Okay. First of all, outdoor pond, I'm not sure their pond they are talking about. The pond is like the koi pond that they build, or actually the like column, the very big column, the soil column.
Oh, okay.
That I'm not sure which if let's say the koi pond, I mean this koi pond that they built, like concrete koi pond, that is actually can be converted into aquaponics. But I have to make sure something is that the construction material, try to avoid the cement type of construction material, okay, that contact with the water. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because
So
cement, they will create high alkalinity. So that is something we avoid in aquaponics.
okay, but now that you mentioned the land type of pond, right? In the farm, I mean on the soil, on the land. So that kind of pond that people used to have this tilapia or have like a burao or all kinds of freshwater fish. Is it suitable for you to just like plug the aquaponic system part into it?
If you use that kind of pond, then the plants of the vegetable you can grow is limited. Because why is you are not able to control the water parameters. It's a natural pond, so you are not able to control anything. It's just up to the nature to do the work. So you have a limited plant you can grow. I believe the very traditional aquaponics system that start on maybe a few thousand years ago, I'm not sure it's in Mexico or somewhere else. So they just use that kind of the natural ponds to do aquaponics system also. But of course, the type of plant that you can grow is limited. More suitable maybe is for those plants they use to live in water.
So which means that the plants that is more suitable to have high volume of water means that we cannot plant cactus in short, right?
Yeah, I mean those natural pond, because it's too big. So, and you're not able to control those parameters like the nutrient concentrations and all that. So that is suit to your vegetables. If you can grow the plant, I mean those plants originally they actually live in water one. Of course they can grow, yeah, but not for those vegetables plants. So it's usually like I say, plant they need different nutrients. Yeah.
I have one question from Facebook, and she asked, what kind of herbs is suitable to use aquaponic?
We try, if let's say in lowland in KL and aquaponics system, we try like for example the mint and sweet basil. Oh, that one very suitable. You grow mint leaf, Actually, you'll be headache because it grow too much.
Oh,
You keep on
because
grow, then you keep on trim, they keep on grow, and yeah.
so this yeah, this is something interesting. I also received question for yeah, people living in condominiums. Okay, so is aquaponics suitable for them? If yes, what is the size of the minimum size that they need in order for them to start this planting?
Aquaponics system, I'm in condominium. I also stay in condominium. So, but I got a balcony lah. So we got outdoor sunlight. So for the morning from about 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. That
Okay.
kind of situation, you can use this like a grow bed type of aquaponics system. You don't go for verticals one, you try to go for grow bed with you already, because you have just a few hours sunlight. So grow for this horizontal one, for horizontal aquaponics system. Then you can
Okay.
grow like the mint or sweet basil that I mentioned just now, or bok choy. They can
Oh,
grow pretty well.
oh, great. Thank you for the answer. So yes, if anybody has any questions or anything that you would like to ask Francis, please let us know and please type in the chat box. So Francis,
Yeah.
what kind of projects are you doing now, or is there anything that you can share with us? Like, what is the next step for Urban Farm Tech and for yourself?
We are actually constructing our urban farm in Cyberjaya. We land a piece of land about 11,000 square feet from governments, and we construct 4,800 square feet of greenhouse that incorporate with IoT, hydroponic system, aquaponic systems all together. So that is our upcoming projects. So, and that farm actually will serve as a place to provide training, urban farming trainings to the youth. Yeah. So that is our project. And also we got another aquaponic project, big scale aqua project, but we are not able to disclose where is it because we have an NDA with our customer.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Do you provide trainings as well for new urban growers?
Yeah, we provide training to new urban grower. As I mentioned just now, we are actually build our farm. Before that, we have our own. We have those aquaponics system to conduct workshop, but that scale is not big lah. So that's why we start this new project. Is actually the purpose is to provide training, to provide training to youth, to new grower. But of course, our training program is like we have free training program, or we have this paid training program. So we only free to those unfortunately group lah. So those people that not affordable to pay. Yeah, maybe they are from B40 group, or maybe they are from RCD, Orang Asli Village community, or maybe they are from some house or
Okay.
insurance or this. So based on school also school. So for those this category of organizations, our workshops, our training is subsidized. Okay, and but for corporate, if you are joined and corporate, like you want to let your employees to learn about this urban farming, all this, then they will have a charge. They will have a charge. So that is the way that how we sustain and how we actually able to contribute back to the society. We earn the money from someone and then we give back to someone. Which is what we are doing from 2016. If you look at our website, right? So we did quite a lot of these school aquaponic projects. Yeah, we try to bring this new urban farming concept to the young generations. So from our observation is that they feel more interested lah. So you see, because you like fish so basically every day they will go there and feed the fish. Yeah, this becomes their so quite interesting activity at the mornings. Then the fish and then they harvest the vegetables. So it's being the kind of I believe it's like aspirations to the children about.
We have one more question for you. What advice can you give new growers that wants to start aquaponics?
Okay. For new grower that want to start aquaponic, first thing I think you need to start simple. Okay, start simple is important. So you can start from a simple system. There are different type of aquaponic design today. There are a very, very conventional one. We call it aquaponic grow bed system. Or the latest or the modern one is like a vertical aquaponic system. Yeah. So, but I suggest that you start from the simple first. Yeah. Simple, and also actually the cost is also lower. Yeah. So your failure rate will be actually lower as well. Actually, it's a very simple system. Yeah. So that is my suggestion. Start something simple first before you think big.
Okay, and we have one more question. Instead of fish, can we grow shrimps inside?
Okay, good questions. That is very subjective. Okay, let you understand something is that for aquaponic system, this is you, as I mentioned, you have to understand the basic process. Okay, what the plant need, what the fish need, what this bacteria they need, because the different kind of even aquatic animals like fish or shrimps or the so-called crayfish or freshwater lobster, they actually prefer different water parameter, pH level, for example. So some fish usually they can sustain in slightly acidic to alkalized water parameters. But maybe if let's say the shrimp, they actually prefer more alkalized water parameters. So, but plant they need slightly acidic. So these two they not able to measure. Then you got problem to put it in the same water system. Okay, so that is a bit technical, but the thing is very easy lah. Okay, the layman term is that now you have fish, now you have vegetable, now you have bacteria. Now these three people is like Malaysia lah, you got China, Malay, or India. So basically everyone is different, but that is also a similarity, right? So that is how we live together because we find the similarity lah. Okay, so that is the logic lah. So now if you want to bring another guy come in, now you know another guy is true. So you have to find what is the similarity. Are they can live together in this water parameter same or not? That is that any overlap of this parameter range? If yes, then okay lah. If not, then no.
Yeah, I like how you put it. True, it's very true. So, indeed, though, when we get involved in agriculture, in urban farming or conventional farming, when we get in touch with nature, I think this is something that we will start to learn and understand, which I think a lot of people, especially the younger generation, needs to have exposure to. It is always about different because everybody will be different. We will definitely be different. Okay, and it's always about finding the right balance so that we can live together, we can live in harmony and bring the best out of everyone.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that's why I think it is very important for this kind of awareness and to encourage people to continue to grow. It is the first step to let the next generation understand that in nature and in reality we live together. It is not like I am alone in my planet. I don't. So I think this is something that I really appreciate from your sharing. Okay. One more question from the floor. How much is the cost to start our own aquaponics projects, and what is the minimum square feet to start?
Okay, then minimum square feet, even 2 square feet also you can start already. Okay, the minimum cost is about, if you build everything by yourself, maybe it's about 200 300 ringgit lah, to all this, to have all these components. Or
Oh,
you
okay.
actually can view our Lazada page, and we got sell this aquaponics starter set, which is start on 399 ringgit, which with every all the material is included lah, plug and pay.
Then that is actually very easy to start and experiment with aquaponics. So, well, it is almost at the end of our discussion for today. So if there's no more question from the floor, then I think we'll just have a quick wrap up. Okay. So Francis, anything that you want to say to wrap up this session?
I think everybody stay safe and stay healthy in this COVID period of time, and see you again.
Thank you, Francis. So for me, very important that today Francis shared about aquaponics, and he also tell us what is the motivation for him to venture into aquaponics. Okay, the fundamentals and concepts of it. I sincerely appreciate that. Okay, and yes, I do agree that we need to take care of ourselves and just stay safe at this time. So any words from Hanizar?
Nope, I'm okay. It was a good sharing session. Hopefully we can see again Francis for the next sharing session with PasarKita. So I know he's a busy man right now. With the activities that he's doing for the future projects. Yeah, stay safe, and hopefully we can just go back to our normal activity as soon as possible.
Yeah, so in the meantime, maybe we can just go to Francis' website and just buy a few sets of aquaponics, and we can start talking to fish and plants. All right, thank you, and stay safe, everyone. Take care.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, bye bye.